channel. And thank you for the comments that have been coming in all week long on different things that I've been posting. I appreciate it. And let's keep this ball rolling for this new year. So one of the questions that come to me a lot is about Forex prop firms. If you don't know what a Forex prop firm is, it's basically where you can start trading as an accountant for a bigger brokerage. In other words, you're trading somebody else's account money. Okay, that's basically what it means. You're working for an institution or a company that allows you to trade on their behalf. All right, and then you split the profit. So at the end of the day, that's pretty much as simple as it gets. So I'm going to share my thoughts and opinions on that so that you can once and for all hear my statements on what I think, because I get this question from people, and I just want to share with you what I think about Forex prop firms, pros and cons. Okay. Now, my opinion, and you guys know, my opinion typically does not align with other people's opinions. So take it with a grain of salt, do your own due diligence. But again, this is just Uncle P sharing his thoughts with you on whether it's a good idea or not to do prop firm trading. Okay, so here we go. Well, before I do that, please hit the like and subscribe button. That really helps us out to make sure that YouTube knows to get this message out to other Forex traders who's interested in this topic. So just hit the like and subscribe button. And also I want to say thank you to the Signals team. Smashed it pretty good last week. 9 wins, only 3 losses, and 2 of those losses were so small it really wouldn't have counted. And over 2,200 pips made in the scalping group. So again, hot start to the new year. All right, let's get started. One more caveat. I have to say this because this comes in a lot too. I do not do prop firm or brokerage recommendations. So as I'm going through this is just my opinion about the subject matter. I'm not going to give you a specific brokerage, or you're not going to, if anybody posts saying, oh, Uncle P recommended this company, that is not me. So if you're being reached out from a company saying, oh, Uncle P talk with us and you should work with us, it's a lie. I don't work with any company. I don't endorse companies because, and let me tell you why, because a lot of this comes in about even with what Forex broker do you recommend? Me personally, now others can do what they want, but me personally, because of an experience that happened years ago where I actually recommended a company to a lot of people, this company was doing the right thing for a long time. And all of a sudden they decided to do, the more people we brought in, which was hundreds of people, the more people we brought in, they end up doing some shicey stuff and it turned into a big fiasco. It wasn't my fault per se, but I felt responsible because I trusted this company with the people I referred to them, and they did them wrong. So therefore, I felt it was my responsibility and my fault. Okay. So please, I don't ask you for your money. I ain't got a special channel off to the side. I ain't working with no brokers who's, if they contact you email, hey, we are familiar with Uncle P and super easy and you should work with us, or none of that. Disregard it. That's not me. Okay. All right. Let's begin. The pros of working with a prop firm. I'm going to start with the positive and then we're going to get into the other, because when I start hitting the other part, y'all not going to like what I have to say. I'm just going to be honest with you. So I better start with something positive first to keep you listening, because the moment I tell y'all the other stuff, you probably going to tune me out because you ain't going to like what I have to say, but the truth will set you free. Okay. So here we go. What are the positives? When you're working with a prop firm, the positive is that you'll be having the ability to do the same trading process that you normally would do on your own trading account at any given time, all during the week, same process. It's just that now you have access to a much larger account because you're using someone else's account who has some substantial wealth. And therefore, you could be placing trades on your $100 account, but instead of it being on a $100 account, it now could be on a $20, $30, $50, or $100,000 account, depending on what you arrange with the prop firm. So it doesn't necessarily change what you do. It just changes how much you're doing it with. Okay. So that's as simple as it gets. So for those who still don't understand it, you may have a $100 account and you're trying to flip a $100 account. You say, man, that's going to take forever. Okay, you work with a prop firm. Let's say I own a prop firm, and this is just an example. I don't, but let's just say I own a prop firm, and I say, okay, you can trade my account, and I'll trust you with a $30,000 account, and we can split I will give you, 50%, half of everything that's made, or 80% of half, or 80% or 70%, well, whatever we work out. So you continue to do your process of trading. I'll front the money. You keep 70%. I'll keep 30% of the profits. And so therefore, when you're trading, you basically are doing the same thing that you normally would do. You'll get into your routine, do your normal trades. And if you're profitable, you're making 70% on a $30,000 account versus making profits on a $100 account. So that's not a bad deal. Okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. Number two, here's the next thing that's good about it. Okay. And this is going to lead into the parts y'all going to probably not want to hear from me. But the other good thing about a prop firm is it allows for restrictions. Okay. What does restrictions means? Many of the prop firms have very strict rules. And if you don't follow the rules, you don't proceed with them. Okay. They will not deal with you if you don't follow the rules. So in that sense, it causes you to trade on a professional level, which is what many of you guys have been wanting to do all along. I want to be a full-time trader, or in other words, you're saying I want to be a professional trader. Well, part of being a professional trader is following trade rules. The problem is, I'll get to that later. Let's not get to the problem. So the good news is it helps you to remain disciplined, okay? So you can make a lot of money doing the same routine with some discipline, because now you have, now, let's start with the first one. The first problem is most people who want to be traders want to do it because they don't want to work for anybody else. They want to work for themselves. But if you end up working with a prop firm, you are working for somebody else. So you really are right back where you started, in a sense. You're still working for a boss, because if they don't like your performance, they can fire you, because you're using their money and their accounts, and they're at their company. So you are still officially back at work with an employer. Okay. So just make sure that your expectations are set correctly on this topic, and before you step in, that in your head you have everything figured out, that this is exactly what it is. Okay. Don't go by all this, fluff and flair and all over there and all these wonderful things. It's the truth. You're going to be working for an employer, and if your performance stinks, you get fired, just like that. Okay. So are we clear? You can make a lot of good money doing the same routine, but you're going to be working for an employer. That's basically what it boils down to. Okay. Now let's get to the side that, and I'm going to keep this video kind of short, because I know a lot of people ain't going to want to hear this second part, because they always want to hear the matter of fact, Jesus, before I let me drink a little bit. Let me wet my whistle before y'all cut me off. Okay. Because y'all ain't going to like what I have to say next. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Some of you guys, you want success, but you don't want the truth. This part is going to be the truth. And then we actually had this discussion in our class last week, so I'm going to step on your toes. If parts of what I say do not fit you, then praise God, cool. But if part of what I'm about to say, it does fit you, then I'm sorry, you're just going to have to deal with the truth until you get over these humps and then move forward. Here we go. Number one, if you cannot, hear me good, if you cannot flip a demo account, why in the HE double hockey sticks are you paying to try to pass a test to trade someone else's money? See, I told you y'all not gonna like me. God, they're gonna tune me out now. Because the truth will set you free. If you cannot flip a demo account, how do you think it is possible for you to trade a prop firm's large accounts? And it's going to get worse. So before you waste your money, don't tune me out yet, because I got more to tell you. They make money hand and fist, and you need to hear how they're making their money off this prop firm stuff, even if you don't trade their money. So don't tune me out yet. You want to hear this part before you even consider it, because you need to figure out how they're making their money, because they ain't making all their money off of people actually trading their accounts. You need to hear that part, but I'm going to say that for last to keep you hooked up. But once you hear this, you're going to find out, oh my God, I get it now. See, I'm not saying they're bad, and I'm not saying they're sinister, But I am saying that there's some things that too many Forex traders who are novices don't understand that's happening. And so before you hop into it, you want to know, okay, this is what I appreciate you sharing everything. Because again, there are some pros to it, but there are some cons. Some of the cons are on your end. Some of the cons are on their end. So you need to hear the whole story so you can make a what? Sound decision. Okay. So for them, they're actually brilliant in what their schemes are. And it's not let me take that word scheme back, because as soon as I say that, people think scams. It's not a scheme, it's a business setup, but they're smart in how they're proceeding and doing it. So as I'm going along with the cons, listen to every single one of them. And then you'll understand the whole global picture. And then I'll give you my summation on whether I think it's a good idea or not, holistically, after we go through the pros and cons. So again, con number one is the majority of retail traders who are asking about doing prop firm trading are not ready to do it, not because of the prop firm, but because of their own trading habits. They are not able to even flip a demo account, and yet they're trying to find a way to get in to trading a large firm's account. That's an issue, okay? Number two, most traders are very undisciplined and impulsive. So they are poor traders, which means you will fail the test that they put you through. So if you can't be disciplined in your own demo account, how do you think you're going to pass a test and they reward you with a large sums of money to trade if you know in your heart of hearts that you're really not a disciplined, good trader? Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's going to get a little bit rougher. And I'm sparing you, I'm telling you the truth, because what you have to do, let's just keep going. Number three is going to help you. If you are paying or depending on someone else to help you pass that test that they give you, that means you cannot do it on your own. So how can you sustain a long-term career trading someone else's money if you really don't understand what you're doing? So here's what's going on. And I've told you, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm Uncle Piggy. You ain't going to like it, but this is the truth. So what a lot of people are doing are using outside people or whatever, signal services like ours or whatever, to pass the test of these large prop firm account, to get a large prop firm account. So the truth of the matter is you don't personally have knowledge in your head to sustain this. So you have to depend on a prop firm's money and a third party's trading strategies to be able to sustain this thing. And you're expecting to do this as a full-time career? So basically what I'm saying is some of you guys are trying to outsource everything because you don't know anything about what you're doing on your own. And this doesn't make sense to me. You can't flip a demo account. You may have a couple of good lucky trades, but you're undisciplined. So you can't flip a demo account. You don't know what you're doing. So then you hire somebody else to help you pass the test for the prop firm, and then you use another service to help you place the trades that's on that account. I mean, okay, if that's what you want to do, you grown, do what you want to do. But the truth of the matter is, how long can you sustain that? Because if any one of these other third parties you're relying on goes away, or they just don't feel like trading one day, then you're stuck. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, let's get to the next one. This is going to help open many of you guys' eyes to what is going on. Why are prop firms so ready to do this? Okay, here we go. And this is just my opinion. So if you're a prop firm, please don't hit me up. Don't cuss me out for opening the doors and telling the people about your stuff. I'm just sharing my opinion. The prop firms are making a killing and are in a no-lose situation. Now take notes of this, okay? Very clear. They are not losing money. Okay. Gabe, what's happening? What's going on? The prop firms, they're not going to lose. Okay. They're going to make money no matter what happens. How? Here we go. Number one, they charge you for the tryouts. Now, if you was going to any other place, like going for an interview to work somewhere, you don't pay to go to the interview. You just go to the interview, and if they like you, they hire you. But with prop firms, they charge you a fee. Why? Oh, here's where it gets good. See, I told my students, and also I know thousands of people watch this later, my students, some of you guys are going to watch this, and you know I say this all the time. If I was really a smart man, and I think I'm smart, but if I was really smart, I wouldn't even be doing what I'm doing. I wouldn't subject myself to an audience just to get criticized for trying to help. I wouldn't waste my time with any of this. I would be like the smart, brilliant, white collar people behind the scenes who you never meet, but you do business with them all the time. And you are running and clamoring to do business with them. And the whole time they're making a boatload of money off of you. And the ones who's in the front lines trying to tell you, like myself and others, we get the blame, the shame, and everything else. Here's what's smart about them. You need to hear this. What's brilliant about them is they charge a fee up front. Many of them. Now, there may be some that don't, but many of them do. Why? Because they know the same thing that I just shared with y'all that you didn't want to hear. What they know is the majority of Forex traders are not good at what they do. They are very poor, undisciplined traders. They look at the percentages just like anybody else who's willing to do the work. And they can see that about 80–90% of all Forex traders fail in the business. Why? Because of the things I just outlined that most people didn't want to hear, right? Here's what it is. They know they're undisciplined. They know how they have poor money management. This is why one of the rules is managing the money. Can you risk? Can you stay within our perimeters of our rules, which is you can't trade past this. You can't have this amount of money losses, da, 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 da. Why is that in place? Because that's the very same things that most retail traders fail at. The very things they're putting as rules is the very same thing that most retail traders fail at. So when you fail and when you're doing this test, do you think they already are giving you a live account? No, it's a demo account that they're testing you on. Come on now. It's a demo test they're testing you on to see. And basically they're saying, can you flip a demo account? Well, here's the problem. The average retail trader ain't flipped a demo account on their own. So this prop firm is testing you to flip a demo account for them. So they're challenging you to do what you were not able to do on your own. But the difference is you had to pay a tuition fee to them. You had to pay an initiation fee. Now, with the promise that they will give it back to you if you pass the test. My question to you, brilliant people, how many retail traders do you think actually pass the test? Which means they are hasty, want to make quick money, want to flip big accounts. So they hastily took their money and paid the prop firm for the initiation fee. But they weren't able to complete the test, and therefore they walked away empty-handed. Who made money? The prop firm did. Hand and fist. So whether you pass the test or not, they don't care because you just paid an initiation fee. And they know the majority of the people who's paying that initiation fee ain't going to pass their test. But it's just free money. They set you up on a demo account and let you have at it. And then out of that, they may get a couple of good people who do actually know how to trade. And therefore, from there, the person trades for them and they make a percentage. Their person makes a percentage. So no matter which way you look at it, they good to go. Do you understand what I'm saying? See, that's why I said if I was a smart man, I would set up a prop firm myself. I wouldn't be sitting here doing this. And I would give it some fancy bougie name so you wouldn't think it was owned by a black man. And then I'll put it very enticing. Oh, I'll pay you out 75, 85, 80, 85% of everything you make, knowing full well about 80% of the people who apply will never make past the test. But I will be collecting their intro fee for trying. And I can make a boatload of money without ever placing a single trade on my own. Not a single trade. That's the truth. And can you blame them? No, this is just psychology. I told you guys, I'm not a dumb man. I actually have a certification as a life coach. I studied. I'm not stupid. But my heart gets in the way, and I'm sitting up here doing YouTube videos for a couple of thousand people gonna watch this later on. And then out of that, some people gonna criticize me, talking about I don't know what I'm doing, and then they're gonna sit up there and get trapped up in it, and then they're gonna be pissed. But then they're not gonna be the same person who comes back and say, Uncle P, I apologize for putting you down because you was actually right. They don't want to hear it. So what I should be doing is shutting my mouth and opening up on these prop firms and enticing everybody through commercials and this and that to come on and trade my money, knowing full well you'll never pass the test because the average retail trader is horrible at what they do. And here's the reason why. And I've said this over and over again. I'm going to keep on saying it. Majority of Forex traders who come through the door of Forex always want to be scalpers first. They don't have the discipline or patience to be a day trader or swing trader, which is no problem being either one, a day trader, swing trader, or a scalper. That's not the issue. The style is not the issue. The fact is that you come in with this undisciplined, quick, make me a millionaire in 2 weeks mentality. You don't want no training from a professional who's in the industry, who's doing exactly what you're trying to accomplish. And therefore, you're just trying to skip to my loo all the way through the process. And meanwhile, these prop firms know that that's the mentality of the average retail trader. That's why a lot of them are charging a don't waste my time fee. So write that in your notes. It's a don't waste my time fee because they don't have to charge. But they do, because they don't want you wasting their time. If you're going to fool with them, they're going to make money off of your behind, one way or another. And whether you pass the test or not, it don't matter. Because once you lose and don't pass that test, they still cashed out on you. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying here? So before you rush to do prop firm trading, you have to check within your own heart, am I prepared for this? Don't ask for a blessing that you're not prepared for. Let me get to the next one. If you pass the test and trade, they make money off of your hard work. They do not have to lift a finger. Nothing wrong with that, but it's still just another brokerage firm. So let me get down to my nitty gritty and I'll be done. I told you I'm not going to do a long video because I know people don't like this because it's stepping on your toes, but it's setting you free. I just don't want you getting involved in something that you're not personally prepared for. Okay? So here's the point. The other thing that I told my students is if I was smart, I wouldn't be out putting myself out as this trying to be a person who's helping the retail family as a whole, whether you're with the Simplicity Group or not. I'm still trying to help you out with information, right? So the next thing I would have done is open up a prop firm, but I also would have opened up my own brokerage, right? And I would have advertised like many of them, low spreads, but I would advertise like they do, you know, on the popular pairs like the Euro USD, the USD JPY. But then when you trade the other pairs, they open up the spreads more than what that little low spread fee. But even if they kept all the fees, me personally, I would keep all the fees very low as far as the spreads. Why? Because I know that I'm going to get a lot of traders who's going to come through the door who are undisciplined and they're going to blow their accounts, but they're going to keep refilling their accounts. And I get paid every time you open a trade. I don't ever have to place a trade because I charge you in what? Pips. Hear me good. I'm trying to help you. I charge you in pips to open your trade. 2, 3, or 4 pips. So every time you open a trade, I actually make pips. Your broker is a brokerage, is a prop firm. They're making money off of every time you open a trade. Okay? You just don't get to split the profits. That's the way that's working. You open a trade, you're paying me in pips. The more you trade, the more pips I get. Average retail trader come in as a scalper, which means they're going to be trading at least 20 or 30 trades a week minimum. So therefore, and they're going to blow their accounts. So then they're going to rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. But that's okay. So if the average trader trades at least 20 trades a week or more, but let's just go with the 20. They overtrade anyway. Psychology, I know this. So they're trading 20 trades a week on average, and I'm making about 3 pips per trade. At the end of 20 trades times 3, per customer, I'm averaging about 60 pips a week per customer, if not more. Are you guys following the numbers so far? Because I know you ain't gonna like what I'm saying, but it's the truth. Okay, so that's just your broker. So they're making about 60 to 100 pips a week per customer that they deal with, because the majority of their customers are anxious, undisciplined, over leveraged, blow their accounts. So that's the broker. Now you come over to the prop firm. The prop firm is just taking this a step further, saying, hey, we can do better than what your brokers are actually doing, who's actually making money off of you, whether you know it or not. And you never get that big into an argument with your broker, even though the broker is the one who's making a killing off of you. But you'll point your fingers at Uncle P and say he's no good, even though I'm out here been doing videos for years to help people. Meanwhile, the actual people who's making a good killing off of you, you never say a single word about them. You don't know who owns it. You don't know nothing about them, and you keep on using them anyway. And they're taking advantage of you, and you don't say a single word. See, if I was a smart black man, I would open up a brokerage and I would get myself out of the way and let you pay me in pips every single week. And I have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of clients, each one paying me an average of 60 to 100 pips a week based on me charging you every time you open a trade. Now that's just your brokerage. Now you skip to Malou over here to the other side, and now these same people who can't flip an account over here in a demo, they come over here. And now they're wanting to do a prop firm. So now the prop firm says, let's go and do this way. We're going to charge them an initiation fee. And if they pass the test, good for us, because now we're mining. Let me use that term since, you know, we have crypto. Now we're mining for actual professional traders. Okay? Because actual professional traders will actually come out on the other side of passing the test, and actually we can do a split. And that's a good thing. Nothing wrong with that. But I already know that the average retail trader ain't gonna even pass the test on a demo account of ours. But I just got their initiation fee. So I'm collecting all these initiation fees, and not once did I let them ever touch my actual live money, because I started you on the test on a demo account first. The same thing you're avoiding doing over here, where Uncle P says, hey, take all strategies and start on the demo account. And when you can flip that account 2, 3, 4 times, then you're ready for a live account. The very thing you refuse to do over here, they make you do over here after you've paid them to trade on their demo account, with the promise that you may get access to a large account if you pass their test. And number 2, on top of that, you have to be a disciplined trader. We don't want no one-trick wonders. In other words, you took a whole trade, you actually lucked up and won that one trade, you over-leveraged 60, 70% of the account on that one trade, but then you couldn't sustain what you were doing. No, we want to see that you can do it over time. That's why some of these prop firms say, yeah, that's great, but we want to see how well you can do over a certain amount of time. And they give you a barrier of how much time. And they want to see over time that you can repeat the process week after week after week, not just once. That's part of the test. The very same things I've been saying the whole time for years on these videos. It's the very same things they build into the test over here. The things that you didn't want to hear me say over here is the very same things that if you did hear me over here, you would easily pass this over here. And you're paying to quickly jump into a prop firm because you're looking at the promise of trading a bigger account, but you're not looking at what is really going on. Are you the person who's qualified to do it? And so I'm here telling you the absolute truth. If you are not doing it over here on a demo account or a small account, don't give them your initiation money, because you're just giving away free money, loved one. I'm just being honest with you. And they know this. That's why they set it up like that. So are they wrong? No. Because like Bitcoin mining, at the end of the day, they win one way or the other. If you're a poor retail trader, you're just going to lose your initiation fee. But if you are a good trader, we just hired somebody who can trade for us and make us some profits, and we split the profits with them. They're using our capital at a much larger amount. So that does give an incentive to want to trade well, because you're now making a ton more money using a prop firm's larger basket of funds versus your $100, $200, $500, or $1,000 account. So yes, it's a good deal in that situation. But the question is it a good deal for you? And you can't lie to yourself, Because this is where the trap is and nobody's saying anything about it. They know goodness well a lot of these people who putting up that initiation fee ain't ready. You know, I got an email from somebody, no, a comment yesterday it was on YouTube, a comment yesterday. And somebody, I forgot who it was, but they said, you know what, Uncle P, I finally listened to you. And I made 400 pips last week using your simplicity system. See, what was the key? It wasn't that I changed what I've been saying. They finally did what? Listened to what I have been saying. And it actually worked for them. Do you get what I'm saying? Too many of you guys, you don't want to get any training. You don't want to get any tutelage. I told you time and time again, if you want to be a professional scalper, I cannot even teach you that. That's where Miss Jenny comes in. You join the signal service, attend her classes, and learn how to be a professional scalper. Then once you get the skill set down, then you jump over here to this prop firm and start trading using the same strategy she's teaching over here in the live classes. You come over here to this prop firm, pass their test, and go and rock and roll and make a boatload of money. That's how you do it right. The average retail trader, including the thousands who's going to watch this later, they ain't hearing me. They just really wanted me to say, yes, prop firms are great. You can make a lot of money. That's all they really want to hear me say. They don't want to hear all the negative stuff about you're going to have to work on your behavior. You're going to have to work on discipline, because that's what they demand over here. Very things you keep tuning me out over here about is the very same things they're demanding over here if you get access to their money. So you can hear from me, or you can keep paying these prop firms and hear from them when they say, no, you don't qualify. Yeah, Uncle Lee is a fake dude, by the way. Yeah, he tried to, no, I shouldn't, that's a different story. Let me leave that. It's a guy who used the same name as my trading system and then took my name and switched the last letters. I'm known as Uncle P. He switched his name to Uncle Lee. No, that ain't me, y'all. See, I told you, that's a whole different story. Let me leave that alone. And I'm being called, I get called names. And these people are trying to use my reputation. Man, get out of here. Anyway, let me get back focused and close this out. The point is, I'm giving you the pros and cons. If you're a good trader and you have shown and proved to yourself first that over not just a week, but over several weeks, couple of months, you have been consistent, then yes, I think it's a very good thing. That's what you want to hear? I'm going to tell you the truth. Yeah, I think it's a good deal. Now, which one should you go with? I never endorse any company anymore because, like I said, sometimes they will treat, if they know that I sent you, then they may treat you good. But if there's somebody who watched this video later, which always happens, where there's a lot of people who watch my videos later on, and then they go to the same company, and I don't know the company owners or this and that personally, I don't feel comfortable because I don't want to put you guys in a situation where, Uncle P, you said this. Yeah, because when I was talking with them, apparently they knew me, because I get emails every week from some company who want to work with me. Hey, we want to do partnerships with you and this and that. I get that every week, big brands and small. Okay? Big brands and small. Matter of fact, I just had a major meeting with a new technology software company that's coming out. And I like their stuff. I'm actually, demo testing and stuff like that. I had and their whole team was on a Zoom meeting with me. Okay. And I like what they're doing. I like it. But see, I'm very skeptical to tell you guys stuff because I don't want you guys getting trapped up into things that can hurt you. This is why I don't make broker recommendations and I don't make prop firm recommendations. Okay, I just don't. I'm not saying there's not good ones out there. There are, but I can't open my mouth because if I say it and something bad happens to you, I'm going to feel uncomfortable and responsible, even though I wasn't. So I'm not quick to endorse companies for your protection and for my reputational protection. Okay, I'm just here to give you guys the pros and cons and give you a holistic approach of how to think from a retail trader's perspective. What would you think about, Uncle P, about these prop firms? Well, the first question I got to ask myself is, do I think I'm good enough to actually do for large institutions what I could be doing for myself? If I think I can, then I think it's a great deal. But if I know within my heart of hearts that I'm not good enough yet, notice what I said, yet, then I need to get the tools or education or whatever I need to then go and accomplish that goal. And when I do achieve that, then I come over here and say, okay, put me through the test, Captain, watch me pass the test. I want to get on your squad. I think that's a good deal. But don't lie to yourself. And don't try to cheat the system by hiring one of these companies who say, I can help you pass the test. Use me to help you pass the test. The minute that comes into play, you already know, okay, this is not possibly sustainable because I'm using somebody else to be able to get into this thing because I'm not talented or enough of my own. I'm not disciplined enough of my own. I haven't educated myself enough on my own to actually do it on my own. Now, you can shortcut it and do those kind of things, and people do it. But in the end, okay. I'm using Uncle P's signals to be able to get in here. Okay, that's cool. Do your thing. Do your thing. I mean, if that's the way you want to do it. But at some point, let me say this in closing. So what if you say, Uncle P, well, what if I started that way? Just to get my feet in the door while I'm learning. Earn while you learn. Okay, I think that's a good deal too. So if you have an idea, you say, okay, I'm going to get into the Signals Group for an example, and I'm going to trade with Miss Jenny, because again, I sent out the report yesterday, 2,300 pips, 100% win rate last week. We had, as far as the signals, we were 9-3, but two of those signals, it's like we just really closed them out at, let me give you an example. So on one of those, if you look at the report, you see, I think it was Euro JPY, one of those. Yeah, it was Euro JPY. We had two open positions, but it didn't really move where it was supposed to go, right? So watch what happens. Watch. So we closed it out, but I specifically put in the report that it was only 11 pips. Why? Because the broker spread. That really should have been just break even, but the broker spread, they charged us to get into it. So I just considered it a loss because we lost a couple of pips, and we had two open positions, so that was like 11 pips or so, 10 or 11 pips. It was just the broker spread, okay? So I still put it on there. But out of that, the bottom line is we had 9 wins last week. Jenny and them, they had 100% win rate with 2,200 pips. So bottom line is, if you want to start that level and say, okay, I'm going to be here getting signals, or I'm going to attend the live scalping sessions, but instead of me actually trading on my account, I'm actually going to trade on the prop firm's account, because that's what you want to do to get your foot in the door. That's cool. But make sure don't just try to skip to my loot and not get the lessons so that down the line, you'll be able to do this 5-10 years from now on your own. Does that make sense? Okay. Does that make sense? You want to, in everything that I've ever done, and I'll close with this, in everything that I've ever done, I outsource a lot of my own work. I really do. But what I learned to do is I do enough of it on my own first before I outsource it. Why? Because I want whoever I outsource it to, I want to understand and hold them accountable for whatever I'm expecting. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So in other words, when I used to own a lot of real estate, for an example, I managed my own properties first, getting those phone calls in the middle of the night. Hey, my pipe busted. Hey, we have a leak in the roof. Hey, the fence, Hey, a branch on the tree. Hey, this and that and this. And I would get up in the middle of the night from my family and go down and deal with these properties on my own. And then when I hired contractors, many of them, one of them was a cool dude. I learned how to do roofing, sheetrock, tile work, everything from him. Watch what I'm saying. I'm going somewhere with this so you'll understand. So with him, I hired him. He was my head contractor, and I would work hand in hand with him. That's how I learned to do roofing. I won't ever like doing roofing, but at least I understand it. I did a little bit enough so that when I outsourced it to another company, I knew they weren't getting over on me. I knew what was going on because I did enough of it on my own to understand what was going on. I wasn't completely 100% dependent on somebody, and I didn't know anything. So if they would rip me off, I wouldn't even know. See, that's an issue. My accounting firm, I can hold an intelligent conversation with my accounting firm when I'm in a meeting with them, because I learned enough about accounting. I'm not good enough to do it on my own because I don't know all the laws, but I know enough that you're not going to rip me off. And when I know enough and I've studied enough of it, but I don't want to do it, then I outsource it. And then I let somebody else take over it. But I'm not going to come in naked, but with no knowledge of my industry at all, and then come in and talk about I'm going to let somebody else do it for me. Because I'm at risk. Because I don't know really what's going on. And that's what a lot of people are trying to do to get into these prop firms. You don't know what's going on. And that's not smart business. And again, I know a lot of people don't like what I say, and it's okay. You don't have to like what I say, but the truth will set you free. At least somebody cares enough and love you enough to keep you from busting your head on certain things that just ain't right for you at this time. And that's not saying that they're getting over. I'm not saying they're scamming people. No, it's not that at all. It's just, are you the person? Are you good enough to be able to actually do it on your own? If not, okay, you can do the shortcut thing, but don't live that way. Because many of you guys, you're trying to do the shortcut thing. You're getting into NFTs, you're getting into cryptocurrencies, you're getting into all these different things. And you really don't know what's going on. You're investing your money into all these different things, trying to hit a lick. Like we say in the hood, this dude trying to hit a lick. You're trying to cash out. You're trying to become the next millionaire, and you don't even know what's going on. And you keep throwing your money at all these different things, and then you're getting pissed when you lose. Well, why did you even invest your money into something you didn't understand? The Bible says, with all your getting, it don't say get rich. It says get an understanding. In all your dealings, get an understanding. Do you actually understand what you're trying to get involved with? Do you actually understand the market? And if you don't, get mentorship. And if you don't want to go through us, that's perfectly fine. Go through somebody and get mentorship. That's like a person saying, I want to do operations on you and be your doctor, but you refuse to go to school. And you want to cut somebody's butt wide open. Talk about, well, they had told me they had a heart condition. I'm going to cut them open and I'll find it somewhere up in there. You see, it don't even make logical sense. But this is exactly what happens in the Forex arena. And we got millions of retail traders coming through the doors, rushing to make this quick money, or through the crypto market. Same thing. Don't have a clue what they're doing. And then these firms and brokerages keep promising all these big ideas. And I'm not saying they're not true, but they know they're attracting a lot of people who don't fit. That's why they're charging you a fee to get in. Because no matter what happens, they're making money. That's what I keep saying. If I was a smart man, I wouldn't be doing videos like this. I don't get a dime from my videos. Never have. I don't get endorsements. My channel is not monetized. I just do this because I love y'all. But if I was a smart man, I wouldn't do none of this stuff. I would open up a prop firm and a brokerage, let y'all just flood on in and pay me all this money and just have a good time. Be on a yacht somewhere, making all this money, hand and fist, for my brokerage, charging y'all pips to enter every trade, which are excessively trading self 20, 30, 40 trade. Have you actually tracked how many trades you've taken in a week? 30, 40, 50 trades a week, and I'm charging you 3 to 4 pips per trade. Let's say you do, like some scalpers, they're doing about 40 trades a week, 10 a day, right? 10 a day on average. So that means I'm charging roughly about 3-4 pips per trade. Okay, so I'm charging you 10 trades a day times 4 pips. That means 40 pips a day off of your behind times 5 days a week. That means I'm making 200 pips off your silly behind. Okay, so I'm making 200 pips off your silly behind, and then I got thousands of traders who's on my brokerage firm who's doing the same dumb thing. So I'm making thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of pips, and I ain't took one single trade. Not one. Your dumb behind did it, and I'll charge you in pips every time you open the trade. And I know you ain't gonna win because you're hard-headed. People like Uncle P, brokers don't like me because I tell the truth. But they know y'all ain't gonna listen to me. You're gonna keep on doing what you're doing, and they're gonna keep charging you. So that's about 200 pips times 1,000 people. That's 200,000 pips a week per week times 4 weeks. I'm making almost close to 800,000 pips a month. A month. So I'm making several millions of pips a year without lifting one finger off of y'all. And then I come over here and open up a prop firm and I say, okay, I'm gonna charge you $50, $100, $75, $200, 50, whatever, to whatever they charge per level. You know, if you want to trade a $15,000 account, I'm gonna charge you $50. If you want to charge a $50,000 account, I'm charging $150, whatever. And you happily pay it. And you're using my brokerage. So I'm whacking your behind, both your butt cheeks. I'm slapping both of them at the same time. I slap your left cheek when you open the trades, and then I'm gonna slap your right cheek when you come over here talking about I'm ready to trade with the prop firm. And I just keep charging you an initiation fee. You fail, I charge you again. You fail, I charge you again. You fail, I charge you again. And even when you're trying, you're on a demo account. Same thing they offer over here for free. You want to come over here and pay me to use mine. Okay, that's cool. Like I said, the truth hurts, but it sets you free. So if you're not ready, just be honest with yourself. Put a strategic plan in place. Okay, I will outsource this. I will earn what I learn, but eventually I want to learn and do this on my own and be legit so I can do this long term. I hope this makes sense. Okay, so I'm gonna close this video here. I've shared with you guys my opinions. I think it's a great idea if you fit the bill. If you don't lie to yourself. Stay away until you're ready. And when you're ready, then go ahead and cash out and make that big money, okay? All right. And when you do, let me say this in closing. When you do, don't forget about the poor. Don't forget about the poor. Make a promise to yourself or to God that, hey, God, when I become successful and I'm doing my withdrawals, I'm going to give a percentage away to help the poor and the needy so that I can be a blessing to somebody else, okay? All right, you guys. Have a good one.